Namaste, Pranam, Gita Dhyanam. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Grathitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitam Ritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatva manusandadhami Bhagavad Gita Bhavadveshinim. O Bhagavad Gita, with which Lord Narayana himself gave enlightenment to Partha. The ancient sage Vyasa included it in the Mahabharata. O Goddess, showerer of the nectar-like knowledge of non-dualism contained in your 18 chapters. O my affectionate mother, the destroyer of rebirth, I meditate upon thee. Krishna Vandana. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Son of Vasudeva, the slayer of Kansa and Chanur, extreme delight for Mother Devaki. O Lord Krishna, the supreme teacher of the universe, my salutations to you. The Moksha Sannyasa Yoga, for 18th Adhyay, and Sri Krishna is just now in our previous reading, he concluded his teachings on the three types of karmas. There are three types of karmas, the sattvic, rajasic, and the last reading was on the tamasic type of karma. And it is kind of a cautionary advice by Sri Krishna how we should be cautious about performing such kind of tamasic work, tamasic karma, which is no good for anybody, which is neither good for the doer nor for others. Because that work is done totally under delusion. There is no clarity while doing that work. There is no proper planning. There is no proper execution. And therefore, there is no proper outcome also for that work. Forget about the fruit of that work done. That is totally different matter. Sri Krishna doesn't talk about that at all here. He just talks about the consequences of the work, the actual consequences. When we do something, it is either for the benefit of ourselves, for the benefit of others. That is the Sattvika work. Benefit of others, main focus benefit of others is the Sattvic work. And also evolution of ours is the Sattvic work. The Rajasic work, at least some good to us. Whether the others, they are going to hell, I am not bothered. That is the Rajasic work. But the Tamasic work, neither the doer gets any good out of it, nor the others they get any good out of it, because it is totally done under delusion. And there is no regard paid to the consequences of the work, the outcome of the work, whether it is beneficial, whether it is not beneficial, whether it is harmful. We just don't, the doer of that work, that tamasic work, is not just not bothered about it. So Sri Krishna told us, Anubandham kshayam hinsam anapeksha cha paurusham. He is mohat arambhyate karma yatta tamasam uchyate. Anubandham anapeksha. Not paying any regard to the outcome, to the consequences of the work. That consequence, the consequence of the work, that anubandham could be kshayam, could be loss. Physical loss, monetary loss, hinsan, injury. That could be physical injury, that could be emotional injury, that could be financial injury. So, kshayam, hinsan, and paurusham. One's ability, one's own ability may get hampered, may get compromised, the ability of doing something. The person, the doers, as well as the abilities of others may get hampered as a consequence, as an outcome of doing that work. Because that work is done mohad arambhyate. That work is done, initiated under the spell of delusion. The doer of the work is not at all clear what he is or she is going to do. In a haphazard manner, just the work has come, let us finish, whether it brings good or bad. Why should I bother? My responsibility is to do the work. I am doing the work. I am not bothered about the consequences. So that kind of work, yatta tamasam uchyate. That kind of work is called as the tamasic work. So now we know when we are getting engaged in any kind of karma, how we can make, having understood from the teachings of Sri Krishna in the previous 3 shlokas and the prior 3 shlokas of the threefold jnana, the sattvika jnana, the rajasic jnana, the tamasic jnana, and last 3 shloka of the sattvika karma, the rajasic karma and the tamasic karma. Now we should prepare ourselves how to be a proper doer of this work, how to be a proper kartā of those works, that they come to us, they fall in our lap. These the karmas, they fall in our lap. They are ordained works. We are ordained to do those works. So how as a kartā, how we should behave now? We should our entire focus should be on using the sattvika jnana, performing the sattvika karma. But for that, we as a doer, we should also understand what is the difference between the sattvika kartā, the rajasic kartā, and the tamasic kartā. If I am doing any work, if I am the doer, if I am the agency for doing that work, how can I be sattvik? How I should avoid to be rajasic, and how should I totally avoid being a tamasic kartā? So that now the 3 agents, the 3 types of agencies that they undertake these 3 different types of karma with the 3 different types of jnana, that now Sri Krishna is going to elaborate. This is Sattvika kartā. Mukta-saṅgo nahaṁ-vādī, dhṛity-utsāha-samanvitaḥ, siddhy-asiddhyor nirvikāraḥ, kartā sāttvika uchyate. Now if we have got sattvic knowledge, if we have to do sattvic karma, we should have the qualities of the sattvic doer. We should have the qualities of the sattvic agent, the sattvic performer of that task. Now what are those sattvic qualities of the sattvic kartā that Sri Krishna has elaborated here? Mukta-saṅgah, again free from attachment. The kartā, the doer of the work, should be free from attachment, like karma remains free from attachment. Like jnana becomes free from attachment, the kartā also has to be free from attachment. Mukta-saṅgah, in a detached manner one should be doing work, but that does not mean relinquishing the responsibility of doing it wholeheartedly. Never ever do that tyaga. Mukta-saṅgah is give up the attachment. Give the attachment to doing that work, doing that karma. Don't say, this is my work, my work. Say, this is Lord's work. I am just the kartā. I am just the instrument to do this work. It has come to me. Lord has given me this opportunity to do the work. Therefore, I am doing it. So, never get attached to the work which is being done. Mukta-saṅgah. And nahaṁ-vādī. One has to be absolutely humble. We may have earned great, acclaims. We may have earned great expertise in performing that task. But we should perform that task with utmost humility. Consider, I know nothing. Don't show off your knowledge. Yes, I can do it. What, in spite of that knowledge, you are not able to perform? What happens then? So never have that kind of egoism, that nahaṁ-vādī, free from that aham, free from that egoism, free from that I consciousness, free from attachment, non-egoistic, and then dhṛity-utsāha, firm. Once the person starts doing the work, he is very firm in seeing to it that it gets completed, or till the time that person has been ordained to do that work. That firmness, that steadfastness has to be there. dhṛity-utsāha-samanvitaḥ, with firmness and utsaha, enthusiasm. Not just with, oh, I have to do this work, I am doing it. I am forced to do this work, I am doing it. You should do it in the most enthusiastic manner, in the most zealful way. That charm, that I am going to do it. Yes, Lord has chosen me to do this. Let me show Lord that yes, I am capable of doing it. With that kind of a humble eye, we should have that enthusiasm. Yes, let me see. Let me take this task to its end, or till the time I am going to work on it. Let me put in my 100%, that all my resources into it. All the resources which are available to me, my mind, my intellect, my senses, my sense organs, my organs of action. Let me put everything wholeheartedly. That enthusiasm should be there. So, dhṛity-utsāha-samanvitaḥ, and then siddhy-asiddhyor nirvikāraḥ, siddhy-asiddhyor. Whether it will be successful or it will be failure, let me not worry about it. Nirvikāraḥ is unaffected. If we are unattached, then only we can remain unaffected by the success and the failure. It is work. It may get success. It may see the day of success, or it may see the failure. One should not be affected even if the work is failure, or one should not start jumping up and down if it is successful. One should have a balanced way of looking at it. One should have a balanced way of handling the outcome of the work. Whether it is successful or failure, one should not get affected. And Sri Krishna says that kartā sāttvika uchyate. That doer, that agency, that performer of the task, that performer, that doer is termed as the Sattvika kartā. An agent who is free from attachment, non-egoistic, endued with firmness and enthusiastic, and unaffected by success or failure. That person, that doer, that agent is called as a Sattvika kartā. Sadhakas get affixed in the conviction that it is Ishvara who sports assuming the forms of beings, and it is his work that is being done by all the beings. Everybody is involved in work, that is for sure. Now, how one performs that work? Am I performing that work as an agent of the Lord, as an instrument of the Lord? If that is the case, then I will perform that work in most unattached manner. I will perform that work with the firmness of my mind. I won't have a doubt. I won't have a confusion. I won't have kind of whether I should do it or not. I will plan the work properly. I will execute the plan to its perfection, and I will undertake that assignment. Now, whether that is successful or failure, I need not worry about it for that matter, because it is the Lord's work. I have to put in my 100% with all the firmness, with all enthusiasm, with all positivity into it. I must put in my efforts in doing that work, remaining unattached to that work. Then that person, then that I who is doing that work as an instrument of the Lord, as an agent of the Lord, as a kartā on behalf of the Chidbhavananda, then that kartā is the Sattvika kartā, because he has understood everything very clearly. It is not my personal work. It is not my work. Let me not get attached to the work, because I have been chosen to do the work till certain time frame. Maybe I will be able to complete the work, or God will snatch away that half-done work from my hands. I need not remain attached to it. But at the same time, I should do it wholeheartedly, with all the firmness, with the dhriti and with the utsaha, with the firmness, with steadfastness, and with all enthusiasm and zeal, as if this is the only work I'm going to do. That enthusiasm should be there, that dedication should be there, that steadfastness and firmness should be there. But at the same time, I should be nirvikāraḥ. One should be unaffected by work if it is succeeding or work if it is failing. Siddhy-asiddhyor. That work, that person is termed as the sāttvika kartā. Then that work also becomes sattvika. The sadhaka gets fixed in the conviction that it is Ishvara who sports assuming the forms of beings, and it is his work that is being done by all the beings. And it is this attitude of his that relieves him of all the attachment. The moment I start considering this is the Lord's work, I am just an instrument, the attachment part, with egoism, if I am doing it, I become completely attached. If egoism, if I am doing that work, and that work, my boss snatches out that project from my hands and give it to somebody else, oh my God, I am absolutely frustrated. I crumble down under that, sentimentalism, that emotional, the torture I start feeling. If I am unattached, nothing of that sort happens. I don't lose my peace of mind. I don't lose my personal calmness. Therefore, Sri Krishna says that the kartā has always to be unattached. Whatever karma takes place with that body as the instrument is doing of the Ishvara and none else. That should be the attitude. I am just an instrument. I am just an agent. Lord has chosen me. Why should I remain so much attached to that work? I am attached to my Lord. Yes, that is for sure. But for the work, Lord has chosen me to do that work. Let me do to the best of my ability. I will not compromise. I will not take shortcuts. I will not, do it in a haphazard way. Nothing doing. With most steadfast manner, with most firmness, and with all the enthusiasm, I am going to do that work. That should be the attitude. And Sri Krishna says that is the sattvika kartā. This frame of mind helps him erase egoism. The belief that he is a faithful servant of the Lord induces him to do his duty with zeal and firmness. Nobody in the world has turned out so much beneficial work as the true devotees of the Lord. The true devotees of the Lord. Just listening to some of those things which the true devotees of the Lord have created, whether it is a shloka, whether it is abhanga, whether it is some kind of a song, just listening to that we get so much of peace of mind. Now those creators, they never had any personal interest in writing those wonderful hymns and shlokas and the abhanga and the hymns. They wrote it with the unattached spirit. They wrote it for their love for the Lord, because they understood they were the instruments of the Lord. And so many times it has happened when we are absolutely perplexed, when we are absolutely dejected, if we listen to a wonderful shabad, if we listen to wonderful hymn, that's it. We find so much peace. So that is the outcome of the work done by the sattvika kartā, the true devotee of the Lord. He who is attached to the fruit of work gets elated in success and dejected in failure. We see it day in and day out in our day-to-day life. Something good happens, we start jumping up and down, and something unfavorable happens as per our plan. That's all. We just crumple down like Arjuna in the first adhyaya. He got dejected the bow fell down from his hand. Arjuna himself slumped on the floorboard of the chariot, all dejected, all demotivated. So that is what happens when we start doing the work with fruit of work being focused. And when the work is done with the ego that I have to do it, we come under that pressure. And when we see the lacunas in that work, then we just crumble down. But the other man who does his duties as the command of the God appears as the agent while he is actually the instrument. When the archer misses the target, it is no fault of the arrow. When we are shooting an arrow at the target, if the arrow misses, is arrow at the fault? Who is at the fault? Whose fault is it? It is the archer's fault. No focus, random shooting the arrow, and arrow missing its target. What is the fault of the arrow? And we start blaming the arrow. Oh, what a useless arrow. It has not hit the target. But have I hit the right? Have I hit the arrow in the right spirit? To the right, with the right focus, with the right aim? That we don't see. When he shoots it successfully on the target, credit goes to the shooter. But when misses, oh, that arrow was bent. The string of the bow was, there was a problem in that string of the bow. That this person, my assistant, had not tied it properly. So all the blame goes to others when it is failure. All the praise comes to me when the thing that I am doing succeeds. So that is what happens when we are doing the work, when we are attached to the fruit of work under the spell of our ego. He is a genuine instrument in the hands of the Lord who behaves as if he were the arrow. That is the reality. We all are arrows, and we all are at the mercy of that ultimate shooter. If we are hitting the right target or not, we should not worry about it. Whether we get success or failure, let us remain unaffected. But that does not mean that I should not be firm. That should not mean that I, as an arrow, I should not be enthusiastic. That does not mean that I, as an arrow, I am doing things on my own. I have that thinking of I am doing things on my own. Why the blame should come on arrow? Or why the success should only go to the shooter? That is what Sri Krishna says. Never be focused by what comes out of this work, whether it is success or failure. Do it wholeheartedly. Do it with utmost dedication, sincerity, with all your efforts into it. But don't look at fruits of the work. Don't look at the outcome of the work, and do it in utmost humility. Do it unattached to the work. And then that kartā becomes the sattvic kartā. Now let us just see Sri Ramakrishna's comparison to this sattvic kartā with the type of soil which germinates the seeds. Sri Ramakrishna says, that soft soil alone which is free from pebbles and stones and rubbish is favorable for seeds to sprout. The soil itself has to have that quality of sprouting the seed. Similarly, the mind of that devotee alone, untainted by perversion and conceit and delusion, is best suited for the Lord to reveal himself in. That untainted mind, that unpolluted mind, that soft soil. You put seeds in that soft soil, immediately they will start germinating. So that untainted, that unattached, that mind free from egoism, which does not have any delusions, that mind only is conducive for revealing, for the Lord to reveal himself in that mind. So that becomes the most productive soil for that matter, that becomes the most productive mind for that matter. And likewise, that soil, which is a soft in nature, which enhances the sprouting ability of the seeds. That is what happens with the kartā of the Sattvika type. Then automatically whatever the Sattvik kartā does turns into Sattvik karma, and it results into good for all. Then the seeds start sprouting. Then the Lord reveals himself in that mind. So that is about the Sattvik kartā that Sri Krishna has started telling us about the threefold kartā. The next readings will be on the Rajasic and finally the Tamasic kartā in the next two verses. Till then, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sri Krishna Arpanamastu. Jai Sri Ramakrishna. Jai Thakur. Jai Ma. Jai Swamiji.